The European Space Agency, the ISS team, thank you.
You're watching HNNCast with Space Rogue on the Hacker News Network.
HNNCast is sponsored by Immunity Incorporated, knowing you're secure. Become a sponsor. Email sales@hackernews.com.
This is Space Rogue for the Hacker News Network, and this is HNNCast for the last week of October 2009. Our top story this week: researchers at Columbia University scanned 130 million IP addresses around the globe and found nearly 300,000 devices with admin interfaces open to the world, and 21,000 of those with default passwords. It was found that Linksys routers were the worst offenders, with 45% of publicly accessible routers still had default password installed. Why bother with compromising your machines when you can have a botnet composed of routers instead? Probably easier. And in a related story, last week we told you about Time Warner Cable and the default passwords on its SMC Wi-Fi cable modems. Well, the company claimed that they had patched the vulnerability, but according to the researcher who originally found the flaw, the problem is still out there on a large number of the routers. Big surprise that a cable company doesn't care about its customers. UNU from Romania has found SQL injection flaws in numerous high-profile websites, including Orange France, ING, HSBC, and the UK Parliament. And recently he thought he had discovered one at BarackObama.com, the fundraising website for the president. UNU detailed his findings on his blog, but it turns out that he may have been fooled by a misconfiguration of the website that may have sent the request via a proxy forward to the calendar system at Roosevelt University. BarackObama.com was originally designed by a company called Blue State Digital, and it is thought that they either accidentally or unknowingly left the smart proxy in place, allowing for various redirects. So while I wouldn't go so far as to call this a hoax, as some media have done, the problems are not as drastic as first believed, although they are still pretty damn bad. And in a related story, WhiteHouse.gov recently switched from the proprietary CMS to Drupal, evidently for increased security. Several Swedish newspapers and the Swedish police websites were knocked offline Thursday morning after being hit with what appeared to be coordinated DDoS attacks. Most of the sites were back up by midday, and Swedish authorities are investigating. It was not immediately known where the attacks originated from or why the sites were targeted. I guess it's a good thing that 2 years ago Sweden made DDoS attacks illegal, because once you pass a law, everyone stops doing it, right? We'll be back with more HNNCast right after these messages. Welcome back to HNNCast. Facebook continues to be a favorite target of online criminals, with numerous attacks coming to light this week. First, researchers found numerous Facebook apps have been compromised, spewing out malware via iframes embedded into the apps. The unique part of this attack is that the applications were compromised from the developers' own machines. In a different incident, the Harmony guy found over 9,000 Facebook applications which were affected by cross-site scripting vulnerabilities, including 19 that had passed Facebook's verified application program, including Farmville, Causes, Living Social, Movies, Farmtown, and Newville. This week also saw several phishing attempts perpetrated against Facebook users. The Bretolab Trojan comes as an attachment, presumably as a Facebook password reset confirmation email, which says that you can find the new password to your account in the attachment. The second sends a legitimate looking email asking you to log into Facebook to update your account, but instead installs a Zeus Trojan onto your machine. The Zeus botnet has been observed sending out 30,000 copies of this email every minute. Remember kids, never open an unexpected attachment no matter who it's from, and never click on a link in an email. Just type it in manually into the browser. The online job site for the Guardian newspaper in the UK has been hit with what has been called a sophisticated and deliberate attack. Third-party job board software company Magdex is thought to host the Guardian's online job board. The e-crime unit at Scotland Yard is investigating. It is unclear how the attackers got in, what they took, or how many people were affected, but rest assured the Guardian is taking this with the, quote, utmost seriousness. Yeah, so serious they won't release any details, but somehow they know it was a sophisticated and deliberate attack. Probably just a simple SQL injection attack, and someone's covering their ass. Solo's, aka Gary McKinnon's, final appeal evidently wasn't very final, as the UK Home Secretary has decided to delay his extradition to the US to face 7-year-old charges of breaking into NASA computers. Alan Johnson said that he wants to review the new medical evidence very carefully. Yeah, I guess we don't have any doctors here in the US, and Alan Johnson is an expert in Asperger's syndrome anyway. Yeah, whatever. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission of Nigeria has shut down some 800 websites and busted 18 syndicates of 419 email scammers in Project Eagle Claw.
The eagle snatching. The next one should be the eagle's tongue. Mine is also the eagle's claw snatching. What do you think of it? I know more about eagle's claw.
The EFCC has begun working with Microsoft and has started to use smart technology, as opposed to stupid technology, I guess, in an effort to reduce the amount of scam email that comes out of the country. I hope the esteemed Prince Mumbadi will be able to get his millions of dollars out of the country in time.
I go take your money, disappear. 419 is just a game. You are the loser. I am the winner.
The latest bank scam involves voice-over IP phone systems, small regional banks, and ATM machines in Romania. First, the cybercriminals break into the Asterisk phone system of a small, unsuspecting business, and then use that system to call customers of small regional banks. Then they use pre-recorded messages to trick people into giving up their bank account and PIN numbers. The crooks encode this information onto a debit card, walk down the street to their local Romanian ATM, and empty the account. So far, the customers of at least 3 banks have been hit: Liberty Bank in California, Union State Bank in Alabama, and Solvay Bank in New York. Some people have started calling this sort of fraud vishing, as in voice phishing. Come on, people. What is wrong with just plain old fraud? Don't we have enough stupid, crazy words for cybercrime already? The Department of Homeland Security has begun searching for the first 150 out of 1,000 InfoSec professionals for fast-track hiring. Of the jobs that we found listed, 20 have minimum starting salaries of $100,000 per year or more, including titles such as architect, supervisory program analyst, program manager, and IT specialist InfoSec. Well, if they have a hard time finding people, and I suspect they will, I know where they can advertise to reach the people they need. Wink, wink. Courtney was off this week, but we'll be right back with the HNN Quickies right after these messages.